Hi, everyone. My name is Lisa Lendway, and I'm going to be talking today about building a Distill website. Um, so I have this to-do list sort of thing open because I actually tried to make this video the other day and I got bogged down in some parts of this. So I want to make sure I sort of continue in a reasonable way and don't let myself get stuck. So the first thing I want to do is acknowledge all the tabs that I have open on my computer. So let's see, I'm trying to think the best place to start. So maybe I'll start with this and I'll put all of these, my first blog post is going to be about creating this website. So I'll put all these resources out there. So the first time I sort of really maybe had a little bit better understanding about how to build a website was when I watched this webinar by Allison Hill and Desiree De Leon. If you haven't watched this yet, you should go watch that before watching this video because it's super informative and super helpful. And then they also, I think this is the right tab. Nope, this is just Allison's webpage. They also have resources. I forget where they are, but I'll put that on the blog as well. They have great resources that go along with this video. I have Allison's website open because I think her website is wonderful. I have a couple other websites open. Most of these, I think, oops, not that one, are from the example sites page on the in the Distill documentation. And then I think, so there's some great examples. Hopefully they don't mind that I'm showing them. And then I also have a lot of these people's corresponding GitHub pages open so I can look at their code. You can see I've been digging into some of these CSS files. I have the Distill for R Markdown page open. I have this example page. I have this reintroduction. I have Allison's notes from a presentation that I believe she just gave last night. So that's super convenient. I also have the video that I just watched of that presentation. And then I have the Netlify page open, which I'm going to be talking about in just a little bit. Okay, so, and I'm probably going to do this a little bit differently than other people would go about creating this. So, you know, I would love to hear how other people do this sort of thing. But the first thing I'm going to do is start with a GitHub repo because I'm trying to get in the habit of making repositories for, well, all my projects. So I'm not used to starting on this spot. Oops, sorry. Okay, where's my new repository button? This is a little bit embarrassing. Hello. Oh, there we go. I'm used to starting from a different page. So I'm going to call this, we're going to keep it simple. I'll call this Lisa Lendway _ Distill. And I'm going to do what I usually do and add a README file. And I'm going to choose a license and I'm going to choose the Creative Commons. And I really ought to learn more about what these various licenses are. I haven't done that yet, so someday. So I'm going to create this repository, which for right now is going to be very boring. I am going to copy that link. And then we will jump into our studio. And here I am going to do a new project, version control, git, paste that there. And I'm going to put this in the indicated location and I will create a project. Great. So then I'm going to reference my little cheat sheet I've got here. Okay, I've done 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to load the Distill library. So if you don't have it installed, you should certainly install that first. And then I'm going to use the create website function. Now, this is where I think I'm doing this in a bit of a roundabout way, and I'm sure there are better ways to do this. Because this is like, well, I'll show you in a minute. I'm going to just have my title be my name. Okay. So this is going to create some files for me. So what let me just see here. Okay. So the reason I don't like the way I've done this is because I actually want everything to be inside of this Lisa Lendway _ Distill folder, but it has now created this website folder. So I'm probably doing this in an extremely roundabout way. And I'm sure there's a better way to do this. But this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to move all these files up a level. So I'm going to move all of these just to Distill. You can see, by the way, that I tried to create a blog the other day, and it actually works. I just, when I was creating the video, I didn't like it. So we're starting over again. All right, so those things all moved. And I'm just going to, oops. I'm then going to delete this entire website folder. So again, I'm really positive that there's a better way of doing this than what I just did, but that's okay. Let me reference my notes again here. Okay, I'm also going to delete this README file. Oops. Because when I tried to build this before, it would give me errors if I had the README file in there. And again, I'm sure there's great reasoning for this. I just don't know what those reasons are. And then what I'm looking for, there's code I can type to do this, but I really want to have this build tab up here. And I don't know if this is true of everyone, but it never shows up right away for me. So I just close RStudio and reopen it. And my computer's being really slow. There it goes. And usually when I reopen it, yep, there it is. So we're now in here, and notice that I now have this build tab. So the first thing I'm going to do is build the website and just make sure that everything looks nice. Okay. So here it's just popping up out here. I'm going to open this in the browser just because it gives me a bit better feel. So there's a home. That's where I am right now. There's an about. And I'm actually going to sort of combine these things in a moment. But this is a great start. Okay. So what did I say next? Okay, so I'm going to make the home page the about page. So I'm going to open up this site.yaml file, and I am by no means a YAML or a CSS or sort of anything besides our Markdown expert. But this sort of tells it how the site is laid out. So right now I can see that my home page is this index file, and we need that index file in here. I'm actually going to get rid of this other page, and I'm just going to make this be the about page. So on that index page, I'm going to, eventually tell a little bit of information about myself. Maybe here I would do something like, shoot, I haven't really thought about a description for my site yet, but maybe this will be my sort of our ponderings. I don't even know if that's a word, but that's what I'm going to write for now, and I will change that later. And I'm going to save that. And I believe this also means that I can get rid of this about file. Kind of curious. I guess I haven't really fully thought through what I'm doing, and I don't think I tested this. Perhaps I'll need to delete some things, but let's actually try to just build the website now and see what happens. Okay, and I'm going to open it in the browser again. So now I have this About tab, which should be the same as my Home tab. It's just that index file. So I could probably delete the about.rmd and about.html files. So maybe I'll do that just to clean this up. So I'm going to delete this RMD file. Hopefully I won't regret that later. And inside of site, I'm going to delete the about.html file. This is more just so I don't confuse myself later on by having a bunch of junk, which I tend to be really good at having. So I'm going to build the website one more time. Great, and I'm going to open it in the browser. Excellent, boring, but excellent. Okay, so I'm going to add a photo. So just by the way, I guess one of my goals here is to sort of build a nice looking, I don't want to make this too complicated, but I do want to make sort of a nice looking website. And one of my goals, let's see here. Well, I would like to sort of have it themed nicely. So as much as I don't want to, I'm going to open this photo of myself. Keep in mind, I am not a photographer. So I have this wallpaper in my house. You can see it in the background here that I really like, and I really like all the colors that are in it. So I would love to sort of theme my website using those colors. We'll see if I can do that. Right now, I'm just going to rename this photo real quick. Oops. And I'm going to stick this photo in. Let's see here. I can't find where my files went. Okay. There we go. So I am going to put these in my Distill website. And I'm just going to, perhaps I'm going to use this one later too. Perhaps I should think harder. Maybe I should put these in an images folder or something. I'm just going to leave them here for now. Okay, so let's see here. Oops. Okay, so I'm going to just go, I don't want to do too much editing. I don't think this part is going to be terribly exciting, but I would just like to do a couple quick things in here. So I am going to go to that index folder. And I don't know if I really need any of these. Maybe for this description part, I will write something like, oh, I guess I wrote that in the site.yaml, didn't I? I'll have to pay more attention about where that shows up. I didn't notice. I'm gonna write the same thing here. And I should probably find out if ponderings is a word. And then down here, I think I'm just going to, you know, again, I should probably think about like how exactly this is going to look. But for now, I'm going to do this, and let's maybe make this. I'm trying to think how big this is going to be. I don't know. I'll try that. You know, maybe I should have something like about me. So I will write this part later, and maybe I'll have my education on there. Oh, but I should probably spell education correctly. Something like that. That's sort of a good placeholder for now, I think. And I almost pressed the knit button, but I don't need to do that. This will be automatically knit when I build the website, and it goes into that _site folder. So I'm going to let this do its thing, and let's see how this looks. Oh my. Oh, it did that thing where it makes my photo sideways. Okay, well, we're not going to worry about that right now. I will, oh, but it's up there. Oh, that's okay, right. Okay, well, that's a decent start. I feel okay with that. And truthfully, this header actually looks like a pretty nice color. Kind of matches my theme. So I might end up just sticking with that. Okay, so now I'm seeing my name here, Lisa Lendway, my R ponderings shows up there. Okay. So I might want to reorganize this, but again, decent start. So now what do I want to do? Now I want to create a listing page for blog posts. So first, and by the way, I am absolutely following everything that Allison and Desiree talked about in this video. So again, if you haven't watched that yet, you should go watch theirs first because they do an excellent job. Okay, so I'm going to add a listing page for blog posts. So I need a new RMD file with a YAML that just has a title and a listing. And the listing is going to say posts. I don't think it has to say posts, but I'm not positive. So I'm going to make it say posts. So I'm going to create a new file, a new R Markdown file. I guess I'll do it this way, although I'm going to delete everything here. And I'm going to delete all this. And I'm going to call the title, I don't even know if this matters. And the listing is posts. And I'm going to call this file, oops. I'm going to save this into the same Lisa Lendway _distill directory. And I'm going to call this file blog. This will be an R Markdown file. Oops. Okay. And let's go back to my little cheat sheet here. Oop, where did my window go? Oh, sorry about that. Okay, so, right, now I have to modify the _site.yaml file to link the listing page. So, oops. Oh, I still have it open over here. So we need to tell it where to find this listing page. So I am going to put text, oops, sorry. Okay, I think that's right. And I need an href, and this is going to be the blog.html. I think I did that right, but I think I also left myself some notes, so I'm going to check those notes. Okay. So add a dash text and href. Yes. Okay. And then I'm eventually going to add posts using the create post. So let's jump back here, and first.
Can you just, I'll be in my room. Can you tell me when you can help me?
Yes, I can. Okay. So now that I have that here, I'm going to build the website again. And I think now that I've done this, there should be a blog. Oh, what did I do wrong here? Oh, okay. I think it's looking for posts and I don't have any yet. Oops. So it's looking for posts and there's nothing here called posts. So I sort of did this in the wrong order. I should probably change that on my, these two should be in the opposite order. So I guess as long as I'm in here, I should do that. So we are going to, oops, sorry, those were fine. I think I need to do this first, the add posts using create post. Okay. So let's jump back to this file. I'm going to create post. Oh, maybe I don't have the, do I not have the, let me just make sure I have distill. Oops. Distill. I do start my computer. So create post. And I'm going to call this title building a Distill website. I wonder what exactly that is going to do though. I think this also creates an R markdown file. Let me just, I'm going to look at this create post function. I want to make sure, oops. Okay, let's make sure I have all of this right. So author, post author, okay. Directory name. Okay, so I think I'm going to give it a slug because I don't want it to use this title. So I'll call that, maybe I'll just call it building distill. And hopefully I've done this right. Okay, so apparently I couldn't use an underscore. Okay, that's fine. So I'll change this description really quick and we'll just call this how I built this site using Distill. And maybe I don't need that because that's kind of in the title, but I'll leave it there for now. So I'm going to get rid of this, and here's where I will talk about building this website, right? Okay, so now let's make sure that I can build the website now that I actually, so let me just show you that now I have a folder called posts, and here's the first one on building Distill. That's the file I currently have open. Okay, so let's build this site, and I'm gonna, I didn't, okay, so it built it. There was some sort of message there in red. Oh, right, and I need to change the size of that photo, but we'll fix that later. Okay. And I see that blog is in lowercase, so I think that was my fault. And I don't actually know if I want to call that blog, but so maybe for now, I'll just let that be a placeholder. This is looking okay. I feel satisfied with what I see. Oops, you can see oh, shoot. This probably is not on the screen. I'm sorry. Just realized this opened in a different screen. That was not on the screen you were looking at. I apologize. So I noticed that blog is in lowercase. But again, this is just a placeholder for now. I can fix those details later. Okay, so I'm going to close this and check my list again. So I think that I have the listing page. Oh, and I wanted to add a preview. I saw that on, let's see here. Let's see if I can, where's her website? There we go. This is the Piping Hot Data website. She also built her website using Distill. This is Shannon's website. And I really liked when she had her blog posts here that there was like a little preview icon. So I do want to see if I can do that part really quick. I think I have her code open to make sure I do that right. So let's see here. So I want to add a preview to the YAML heading of the post. Okay. So let's go back here. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do, oops, sorry, I keep losing my, why this isn't opening in the right way. So I think what I'm going to do is sort of steal some of Shannon's code here. And, oh, am I looking at the, see, I'm looking at the wrong spot right now. So I'm just going to go into one of her posts. And in this RMD file, we will see that there's a whole bunch of stuff in here, but the thing I wanted was this preview piece. My file won't be called the same thing, but let's put that, let's see. I don't think it really matters where we put this. Maybe I'll put it after this. So instead of using this icon, and I'm realizing something else I forgot to do, and why I'm not actually seeing any blog posts is because I forgot to knit this RMD file. So unlike those other files that are sort of in the main directory, with your posts, you have to knit each of them separately. And that's purposeful, so you don't have to, so it doesn't keep rebuilding these HTML files every time it creates your website. So let's see, for my preview, let's see, do I have, I don't have it open anymore, do I? I was going to just put a picture of the blog, but I don't think I have mine open anymore. So you know what? I mean, this is sort of silly, but I'm going to take Oops. This is not the picture I will use in the end, but just to have a picture here, I am going to just take a screenshot. And let's see here. I am going to save this to my desktop really quick. Okay, so again, sort of silly picture to have, but let's see here. I am going to put this on the right thing. Okay. Let me get to my desktop here. Okay, and I am just going to, wherever it put that, looks like it put it here. We'll rename this. This will be my okay, great. I have a picture there. And I'm going to put this in. Let's see here. So this should go in my posts in that same folder. And again, I'm sure I could make like an images folder in there, but right now I'm just not going to bother to do that. So now if I go down here, I should be able to see that file in here. Yep, so blog distill photo.png. Great. Okay, so I'm going to save this and I'm going to knit this file. And then hopefully when I build my site, we can actually see this blog post, which again, right now is not going to be anything all that interesting. So if I go back to build, I'm going to build the site again. And hopefully, I also need to remember to fix that photo of myself so it's a little bit smaller. And I'm going to open this in the browser. And now it's opening in the right one again. Okay, so now when I go to the blog, so here there's this preview photo, which again, I'll change what this is. And my title and description are here, and I should be able to click on that, and that brings me to the actual blog post. Awesome. So this is a really, really great start. I think I'm really happy with how this is going. Okay, the last thing I'm going to do before showing you how I'm going to deploy the website is I'm going to modify the site.yaml file a little bit more. So I want to, I'm going to add a little logo, and I'm going to add some links to my GitHub page, my LinkedIn page, and my Twitter page. So let's go back to this file, and we'll close that for now. Oops, wrong one. Go back here. So let me remind myself where I'm putting all of this stuff. So right after nav bar, I'm going to add, and maybe I'll just copy this, knowing that it might not copy all the spaces quite right. So this will show up on the left side of the nav bar. Okay. And then the other thing I'm going to do here, actually, I want to add, I just want to capitalize that word so it matches the others. And then I'm going to add a bunch of these links. Oops. Okay, so there should be a GitHub, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And these icons are built into Distill, so I don't really know a whole lot about those. I just know that you can do this. Well, hopefully. I haven't actually tried it myself yet. Building the site again. And it takes a little bit of time. Oops, and I forgot to shrink that photo again. I'll do that later. What happened? Okay, I've clearly done something wrong because now I don't have any icons. I wonder what I did wrong. Okay. Perhaps does this image thing. Okay, let's try to figure this out. I'm going to get rid of this image thing for a minute. I'm going to try adding all those icons. Try to figure out which one is causing an error. I should also look at some point. I feel like there's some message I'm getting over here. Oh, okay. Okay, so something in my icons is broken. Okay, so let's try to figure out which thing is broken. So I'm going to get rid of these for now. I wonder if it's something with how I copied and pasted stuff. I probably shouldn't copy and paste stuff in here. It's probably not a good idea. Or do these things, do they maybe need to be in quotes? It's possible I did this wrong. Let us go look at somebody else's stuff, right? Okay, so that looks similar. And let's go back to this one. Okay. I wonder if there's something. Okay, I'm gonna, I mean, those seem to be what I'm seeing in other people's sites. I'm going to try to get rid of this stuff for a second and then come back to it. I could definitely see it being that I've copied and pasted something incorrectly. Just want to see if I can get either of these things to work. Okay, what have I done? All right, so clearly it's not either of these things. What else did I change? Does that, oh, what did I do? Okay, well, I'm not quite sure what I've done here. I did something wrong, clearly. Somehow my nav bar is gone. Okay. Let's see if we can figure this out. So we're going to undo everything I just did. Oops. And try again. Okay, so I've got my nav bar back. So I'm not sure what broke it. So let's try this stuff again. So I'm going to try to add these first. And again, maybe I shouldn't copy and paste this because I do know this section is picky. Okay, so now my nav bar is still there. That's good. Great. And I do see these links to GitHub, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Awesome. Let's just make sure that they work, because that would be sort of silly. There's my Twitter page. And LinkedIn, wonderful. And GitHub. Great. Okay, so that is good. I don't actually need this little thing here. This is a favicon. I don't actually know how to say that word. It's certainly not necessary. So if this doesn't work, we're just gonna skip that. Actually, maybe what I'll do is check. I believe on, yes. Oh, I see the mistake I've made. Lovely. Wouldn't you know, I think what I forgot to do here is indent. This is what I love about the YAML section, how picky it is. Oh, I did indent. Did I not indent correctly? Maybe I didn't indent correctly. Let's see, the logo, the image. Is this supposed to be like one more in or something? Maybe that's it. Let's try it now. See what happens. If this doesn't work, I'm just going to get rid of it, and this is not necessary. So well, I still have the, look at that. It's just that little LL thing. Again, totally unnecessary, but it's there. So wonderful. Okay, I think what I want to do now is I want to, I should have been doing more of this as we went along, but oh well. I think some people believe that like you shouldn't push this many things at the same time. So I apologize to all of those people in advance. Oh, I don't think I need to push my R project. I am going to push all of that. I am going to commit that. And we're going to call this the initial upload. Commit. Great. Push it. And now what I'm going to do is, as soon as this finishes, is I'm going to jump over to Netlify, and maybe I'll jump over there while it's still doing that. So maybe I should start by just going to the main Netlify page. And I already have an account. I think it's easiest to do after you've created an account, but if you watch Allison and Desiree's video, you will see that you can actually create a website just by dragging and dropping the site folder into the Netlify drop page. But I think it's easiest if you create an account. So actually, before we do this, I am going to, so I created this, deployed a website here yesterday, and I actually want to delete this site before moving on to this one. So I'm going to delete this, and the reason I want to delete this is because I want to use that name. Okay, great. So now I am going to click on this new site from Git, and I'm going to choose GitHub. And it's going to ask me to search my repos, and this one is called Lisa Lendway _ Distill. That one. And we're going to deploy the main branch. And the publish directory, this is where I'm going to put _site. And I believe if you click on this button, yeah, this sort of gives you a hint of what you might want to do. So this _site file has all the HTML files I need in order to deploy it on this site. So I usually do that. Click deploying site. Once you do that, it takes a little bit of time, but you'll eventually get this auto-generated name. So it's going to be, a bunch of weird words, .netlify.app. The first thing I always do is go to site settings, and I change the site name. And this is why I wanted to delete that old one, because I want to use it here. So I'm going to be lisalendway.netlify.app. I will save that. And I think that's all I need to do for now. If I click on here, so this is now up and running. So I can pass along this website to anyone I might want to pass it along to. And yeah, super easy. Every time I push out to GitHub, this Netlify site will be updated. So I find it to be quite simple. I have made some other sites using much simpler sites, but where I have just pushed out, knitted our markdown files, so HTML files. And then I have also made, this website is just like an R markdown website where I've essentially linked to a whole bunch of these standalone Netlify sites. So I have really grown to love Netlify in the past like 3 or 4 months that I've been using it. Okay, so I think now that we have that piece done, the only other thing I wanted to do was create a theme, and I'm just going to do sort of a baby version of that, I guess. So I am going to go down here to the console and do create theme. Oops. And I know that a lot of people use just theme as the name, but I'm going to call this Lisa theme because why not? Okay. And something I just noticed in Allison's video today, is that there are these lovely instructions on here, which you should for sure pay attention to, because I did not pay close enough attention the first time. So we now have this, I think mine is not called theme.css. Mine is called Lisa_theme.css. But I think that's what's meant here. And then the really nice thing that Allison has done, and well, maybe it's just her, is they've sort of provided these nicely named things, sort of like the most commonly used CSS things you might want to change, so that you don't have to go out and search for CSS. So don't make the same mistake I did and try to like start right away by using complicated CSS. No offense to CSS, because this has a lot of the really nice things in it. So what I wanted to do was just change a couple of things. So let's see here. I think one of the things I wanted to change were the Distill site header. So let's see here. If I remember correctly, I just want to make sure I'm getting this right. So I have this lovely site. I don't know hex colors very well, so I have this website open where I can put in a hex color and it converts it to other things and it gives me the color preview. So I need that there because otherwise I'm not good at envisioning what it looks like. Okay, so let's see here. I did want to change this background color because, I don't know, I just want to look a little bit different. Although I do think I need to be slightly careful when I start changing these colors. So let's see here. Let's make sure. I don't actually remember if this is the right color or not. So, okay, that's the color I want. So let's go back here. I'm going to change the background color to that. Maybe I will change my title size. Maybe I want to make that a little bit bigger. Well, maybe I'll leave it for now. Actually, let me undo this. I want to, okay. So I'm going to change the footer as well. I would like those two things to match. That seems reasonable. Okay. And then let's see, what else do I want to change? So maybe I'll want to change some of these fonts later. The title color, I believe this is black. So perhaps one thing I want to do, not that this matters a lot, but I'm trying to like have a nice color scheme here. So maybe I'll use this dark red. And part of me just wants to make sure that I'm doing these things correctly. One of the things that I wanted to do in here was also to change the background color. So I think this is one where I actually needed to use the regular old CSS. Let's see if this will work. So we're gonna see if I can get this to work. I think I wrote myself a note for how to do this as well. So I wasn't quite sure if the command should be background dash color or just background. So I know next to nothing about CSS. Okay, so I wanted that sort of light blue color. Oops, and I need this, and then I need to end with a semicolon. So I think I can do this. So here's my theme. The other thing I need to do is listen to the advice I'm given here and add theme entry to my site article YAML. Okay. Oh, site that, hello, that means site or article YAML. I'm going to add mine to the site YAML file. So down, I'm going to put this down at the bottom. I'm going to do theme. And then my theme is called Lisa_theme.css. Save that. And we will see which, if any of those things work. Let's hope they all do. Let's build the website. Great, so I see my color changed. I can't actually tell if the background color changed or not. So it is possible that I did that completely wrong, but actually that default color is kind of nice. So maybe I just won't worry about that. And I think I'll move on to what's probably the more important thing, which is actually getting some content on these pages. So I'm going to go work on that, and I will at some point have my blog post ready to go. So hopefully that helps some of you. Thanks for being here, and bye.